the faster of the two football teams.
Yeah.
And what this surface does is it brings out speed.
Yeah.
You're not going to play on a fast surface all year, then play on turf. Get used to it. It could be a little wet tomorrow night. So find out what you have to do with the wet turf. Okay?
Let's go, baby.
Well, it certainly was an old-fashioned slugfest, a real dogfight at Nippert Stadium in Cincinnati, but the Pirates prevailed. The final score, 21-14. We'll be back and visit with Coach Lewis right after this.
The Bill Lewis Show. An inside look at East Carolina Pirate football is presented by Bob Barber Honda, by Kentucky Fried Chicken, by Morgan Printers, by Pepsi, by Carolina Telephone, by John Deere, by the Hilton Inn, and locally by... And now here's the voice of the Pirates, Jeff Charles.
Well, it certainly was an exciting ball game for the spectators at Nippert Stadium. Everybody sitting on the edge of their seats. The Pirates battle back from behind, win the football game 21-14. Coach, in a game like this, I don't really know where you start other than to say the team came through with a victory, won a big game on the road.
Well, a couple of key things for us. Number one is that we won the ball game. That's always your first objective. The second thing is that we fell behind early in the game, and it was a struggle. But our football team somehow, as they came out into the second half, found a way to kind of regroup, gather themselves together, and find a way to win the game in the fourth quarter. We went into the fourth quarter tied 14-14. Our defense did a great job of creating some turnovers on our offense after some frustration. Finally got the ball in the end zone for the winning score.
Can't say enough about the defense. Held Cincinnati off the scoreboard in the second half.
Well, it was a game in which, we got knocked back on our heels. Anytime a team scores like they did in their very first possession with a long run, that can really take a lot out of you. And then we seemed to settle back down, and then, of course, we got caught in a blitz situation. They picked it up, did a great job of protecting their quarterback, beat us on the post route. So, again, we got knocked back on our heels. But if you take those two plays out, I thought it was a pretty aggressive performance. I thought we had some missed tackles, maybe too many missed tackles, but you got a proper attitude now. At least we can go back and correct those mistakes.
Well, let's go to Nippert Stadium in Cincinnati now for the first half highlights.
All the things we dream about, we can make them happen. And boy, if you believe it, you'll believe it, anything can happen. There's no limit. Believe it, baby. Believe in it, you got to want it, you got to go get it.
Coach, Cincinnati won the toss, and your ball club will have to kick things off here.
If they elected to receive after winning the toss, Rob Imperato kicks the ball. We get a great kick. Terry Strong, their tailback, fumbles the ball around. An opportunity really to start out with great field position. But we missed a few tackles, overran the ball, and Strong brings it up just over the 20-yard line. Brother combination, Dan Hogue to Don Hogue on the first play of the game, a little quick screen or flare screen. They pick up about 13 yards and a first down. And then the first shock of the night is when Terry Strong takes a play on what we call the weak side bounce play. We miss a couple tackles at the line of scrimmage. And then Strong, as he showed in the Rutgers game, if he gets out in the open, he's got the kind of speed, and he goes 68 yards. Really knock us back on our heels and put Cincinnati ahead as we see 7-0. We come back and on our next possession, Travis Hunter finds our tight end, Luke Fisher, down the middle, and Luke almost breaks away from this thing. He's caught from the backside by their cornerback and gets us in real good field position. Willie Lewis, our senior tailback, does a great job of kind of running the daylight, a good spin move at the line of scrimmage to get himself some extra yardage. Here's Travis Hunter making a kind of a bad decision. He got caught up on the naked bootleg play. Their defensive end got up in his face. He threw the ball when he probably should have taken the loss, and Kyle Stroh, their linebacker, intercepted. Fortunately, our defense did a good job. They gave up just 1 yard on that drive, and then we pick it back up with David Daniels off of our belly play. And then Travis does a great job of keeping with the option and starts to move us down in close as the first quarter comes to an end. And at this point, again, we're still trailing 7-0. We come back on a third down play and off of our sweep, run the reverse and give the ball to Al Whiting coming back, and we were just short of the first down. Rob Imperato came in, kicked the 24-yard field goal, and we go on the scoreboard but still trail just into the second quarter, 7-3. We stopped Cincinnati and came right back, and Travis, off of that same misdirection pass this time, finds Charlie Tyson wide open for a 23-yard gain, and we start moving down the field. Our drive stalls here, and then Jett who did just an outstanding job, punched the ball dead inside the 5-yard line, a 52-yard punt. And then we're going to see one of the big defensive plays of the night. This is Anthony Thompson, one of our senior defensive ends, comes through. We'll get another look at it here. And off of their misdirection or counter waggle pass, he tackles Dan Hogue, their quarterback, in the end zone. We see here now, following the safety, you must kick off from the 20-yard line. Free kick. They decide to use their punter, Jeff Jones, punts the ball, and here's a great return by Junior Robinson. And unfortunately, Jeff, we didn't take advantage of that. We had an opportunity. The momentum kind of shifted our way, but we had a 2nd down and 1. We tried to throw off of the play-action pass. Travis got turned back to the backside and then threw the ball back in the middle of the field. There's an awful lot of bodies crisscrossing the middle of the field, and Kevin Bowman, their free safety, makes the interception. Here's Joe Abram, one of their 2 tailbacks, and he picks up a couple yards. And then a great job by the...
Down 14-5 at halftime. They get ready to come out in the second half. And, Coach, why did you tell the team in the locker room?
Well, it was a matter of talking, first of all, about us not being ready to play and how important it was. So many times you talk to a football team, not quite on the same page as you. We tried to establish that. The second thing, we talked to our defense about the 2 big plays and how important it was that we played sound, that we tackled well in the open field, and that if we settled into that kind of game, we'd be all right. The other thing is we challenged our offense. We told them it was going to take 2 scores, either 2 touchdowns or a touchdown and a field goal to overcome the 9-point deficit, and we just kind of threw it back into their hands because they're the ones that have to go out and win the game. They're the ones that have to go back out and fight to get out of the situation we were in.
Let's go now to those second half highlights. Coach, the Pirates will get the ball here to start the second half, and John Jett with an outstanding punt. He did such a great job for you in that second half.
He certainly did. We were 3 downs, and we punt, and John punted the ball 56 yards inside the 5-yard line. We saw Reeve Spainhauer make a sack behind the line of scrimmage. Now he comes in off of pressure from Robert Jones, and Spainhauer gets the safety. Once again, we receive the kickoff and got great field position. Travis Hunter keeps off the option and picks up 18 yards. Now come back with the option the other way. This time Travis pitches to the other senior tailback, Janelle Harper, and Janelle picks up 11 yards and another first down for us. We're really into milking the option play. We go right back the other way with the option. Travis this time keeps for 11 yards, and on this particular play caught a finger in the eye. We see Travis had to come out of the game for just 1 play. He comes right back in, and off of our misdirection waggle pass finds David Daniels, our fullback, in the end zone with a touchdown. And finally, after a long haul, it took a long time to get things tied back up. Now we go back on defense, and Hogue tries to find Hatcher inside. He overthrows him, and Junior Robinson, our free safety, makes the interception. He turns the ball 18 yards and really puts us in outstanding field position as we go into the 4th quarter. Here Travis makes a heck of a throw. Luke Fisher, our tight end, made a great adjustment to the ball and got us up into their territory where we were able to punt the ball once again. For the 3rd time in the ball game, John Jett punted the ball dead inside the 10-yard line. We see Jerry Dillon down there, down it on the 5-yard line. Now they're going to come out of the end zone with their option. The trap option, you're going to see Hogue come down, pitch the ball to Joe Abrams, their tailback, comes around, gets outside of containment, gains 16 yards, but then Anthony Thompson from behind strips the ball out. Junior Robinson recovers, and we thought we were in great field position. David Daniels runs the inside fullback belly for about 9 yards. And then on 2nd down, David takes the same play, goes 12 yards for the touchdown. But as we're going to see coming up, we were called for holding. Right there's the signal. We go back, our drive stalled, we missed the field goal, and Cincinnati goes back on action. Now they offer a sprint out pass. Reeve Spainhauer tips the ball at the line of scrimmage. Anthony Thompson makes the interception, and once again, we've got the football deep Cincinnati territory. Again, off of our belly play. Fullback David Daniels takes the ball down to the 6-yard line, and then on a 3rd down and 3, with still plenty of time left in the 4th quarter, we're going to finally knock in that winning score. It's the same fullback belly play. You're going to see Travis reverse pivot, hand it to David, and behind a great block by our offensive line of scrimmage, we got that winning score in. It wasn't over, though. Cincinnati came back to a 1st down to our 19-yard line, and then the last play of the game, Ricky Terrain steps in front of a square-in route, intercepts it, returns it 49 yards, and after a long, tough struggle, we finally come out on top 21-14.
Well, certainly David Daniels did just a great job running the football in the second half. He had the last two scores, the touchdown pass that you saw, and also the run. And really, the offensive line coach in that second half really gutty, really grinded it out.
It was the kind of football game that, you know, kind of a throwback somewhat, Jeff, to conservative football. We got into a game in which and this is something I think our offensive staff did a great job of adjusting to. What are the circumstances of the game? The game was that we struggled with some turnovers in our throwing game, so we felt like we could go up and dominate the line of scrimmage with an experienced offensive line. They did their job. Our backs did a great job of holding on to the football, not turning the ball over in the running game. And then eventually, with patience, good things are going to happen to you.
And we'll go inside the locker room and talk with the Happy Pirates right after this timeout.
East Carolina wins it by a final of 21-14, and yes, this one was a struggle. In the locker room after the game, everyone talking about what a tough game this one was with the Bearcats.
Well, yeah, we started out the week and we had a couple of days that we just relaxed and didn't practice hard as we should have. And Coach Lewis told us we were going to be in for a dogfight. And, you know, usually when he says something, it always happens. And we came out, we knew they were going to be pumped up. They had more fans than they ever had at a game. And we knew they were going to come out strong. We just had to keep pounding on them. And they gave us everything that we ever wanted. They just gave us a dogfight the whole way.
It's a game we needed. We needed to learn how to win in the fourth quarter, like Coach Lewis stressed all week. You know, Cincinnati last week, they won, or they tied in the fourth quarter. And he just thought, you know, that was a plus for them, and that he was worried about us being able to do it, and we came through and we did it. It's a game we needed. We needed a game like this.
I figured they would give us a tough fight. We looked at the film from Rutgers, and Rutgers was highly favored, and they tied them, so we knew it was going to be an upbeat game from the start.
We knew they was going to be tough. We saw them playing against Rutgers, and they got a pretty good team. And like I said before, they had a new coaching staff, so I'm sure they wanted to win just as bad as we want to win for Coach Lewis. It's like in a 3-zone. And I knew they hadn't been on my side too much all day, and they had to get something. You know, they was driving, trying to score on us. And I saw the quarterback 3-step, and I broke in front of the receiver, and he threw it right to me.
One of the exciting and interesting things about being a collegiate football player is the opportunity to travel and play in out-of-town cities and in out-of-town stadiums. One of the things that we are attempting to do here at East Carolina is to make our trips not only an athletic event and playing a football game, but also a learning and educational experience for our football players. We will attempt to, on each of our trips on Friday, use part of Friday afternoon to go to either a historic site or something that would be of interest and educational to our football players. Here in Cincinnati, we've had a great opportunity as players and as coaches who are so much a part of the game of college football. We're here today spending some time at the Collegiate Football Hall of Fame and visiting with our football team. One of the interesting things is that none of our players nor none of our coaches had ever been here at this facility. So it'll be a very exciting afternoon, help to make the trip a little bit more than just a football game. Of course, the football game will always be the most important reason that we're on the road, but I think this will certainly make our trip complete and be something very meaningful and worthwhile to our football players as well as to our coaching staff.
Well, how would you like to have a diet in which you could consume 8,000 calories? Well, the offensive tackle for the Pirates, Grant Lowe, was on just such a diet. Here's Todd Gibson.
Well, the average person uses up about 3,000, takes in about 3,000 calories a day, give or take a little bit. And we burn them up according to the activity.
For East Carolina offensive tackle Grant Lowe, that daily activity includes fighting off 280-pound defensive linemen. So no measly 3,000 calories a day will suffice, nor will 6,000 calories. In fact, Grant Lowe's daily intake is between 8,000 and 10,000 calories. It all starts with a light breakfast of fruit, 4 hard-boiled eggs, cereal, and toast. From there, it gets interesting.
Now I'd come home and I'd eat lunch. That would consist of 2 triple-decker sandwiches, some more fruit and salad, and different liquid supper, I try to usually eat some sort of macaroni or pasta, to that extent, and more salad and fruit throughout the day, and then I'd snack on stuff called garp, and then I'd try to eat a meal at night too, say 4 or 5 hot dogs or something like that.
You may be wondering why Lowe is so consumed in his effort to pile on the calories. Well, it's simple. In the past, the preseason first-team All-South Independent lineman has lost weight during the season. This year, he's bound and determined not to let that happen.
For Grant Lowe, the word diet is a 4-letter word. Already the senior offensive tackle has put on 10 pounds, and he says he'll continue to indulge to maintain his weight throughout the season. Reporting for the Bill Lewis Show, I'm Todd Gibson.
Well, Grant Lowe certainly consuming a lot of food, and Coach Grant and all his teammates went up to the Hall of Fame, and I know it was such an enjoyable experience for the guys.
It really was, and it's one of the things I think that collegiate athletes have an opportunity to do. We travel out of town, and what we've tried to do with our football team, Jeff, each Friday prior to our workout, if there's something educational, something historical, in this case it was something so appropriate for a football team and a staff to have a chance to go back to kind of our roots or the roots of the game with just an enjoyable trip to the Collegiate Football Hall of Fame located in Kings Island, just a few miles outside of downtown Cincinnati.
Next up for the Pirates, the Illinois State Redbirds will provide the opposition at Ficklin Stadium. We'll have our scouting report and Coach Lewis's comments as well coming up. Well, the Illinois State Redbirds will provide the opposition at Ficklin Stadium. And with our scouting report this week is tight end coach Jeff Jagosinski.
This week we got Illinois State University Redbirds. They're coming into Ficklin Stadium with a 1-1 record. Right now what we see about them, they're a very young ball club. Last year was the first year for their head coach, and they played a lot of young players. They're coming from the Gateway Conference, which is a very competitive 1AA league. We find them on defense to be very aggressive. They'll run a multiple of defenses, multiple eagle, split eagle, and tight eagle. And offensively, they run a multiple set there. Look for a very much improved Illinois State team come in Ficklin Stadium, but we'll be ready for them.
Illinois State, the opponent this week, 7 o'clock kickoff at Ficklin Stadium in Greenville. And Coach, Illinois State, like so many teams on your schedule this year, they had an open date week, as did Cincinnati coming into this ball game. So they'll have 2 weeks to prepare for you as well.
There's a couple of real key things. Number one is it gives a football team an opportunity to correct errors. Second, it gives them an opportunity to get their injured people back and healthy for our game. And then we play a style of defensive football with the pressure scheme and so forth that is difficult to get ready for in 1 week. So we've now had, counting our opening opponent who had 3 or 4 weeks to get ready, it's almost like a whole new season for our opponents. They can go back to the basics. They can go back and spend the amount of time to block all of our fronts, to block all of our stunts and blitzes. And it's not an easy task for us because there's a lot of unexpected things that can happen in these kind of football games.
33,412 at Ficklin Stadium for the opener. I know you'd like to see that kind of a crowd again this week.
We certainly would, Jeff, because we need their help. This is a football team that responded to what happened on opening night. They're a team that needs every possible edge we can get, and if our fans will come back on Saturday, it'll be a tremendous boost for our football program.
Coach, thanks for the visit, and congratulations on a great gutty win for your football team tonight.
Well, thank you, Jeff. There's no telling what a win like this can mean for our people down the road, and I'm so proud of our football team, so proud of our coaching staff for the job they did, especially on the field, in the press box during that 4th quarter where we had to find a way to win it.
Join us next week for the Bill Lewis Show right here. The Pirates and the Illinois State Redbirds will see you at Ficklin Stadium at 7 o'clock next Saturday night. Have a good week, everybody.
The Bill Lewis Show, an inside look at East Carolina Pirate football, has been presented by John Deere, by Kentucky Fried Chicken, by Bob Barber Honda, by Carolina Telephone, by Pepsi, by Morgan Printers, by the Hilton Inn, and locally by...
Just gonna be straight on now.